Hi, everyone. My name is Daniel Lee, and I'm an Edward Jones financial advisor located at 81 Manitoba Street in Bracebridge. I've had my financial advisory practice in Bracebridge for 6 years, and I plan to be here for the rest of my career, 25 to 30 years. My primary focus is helping people organize, build, and protect their serious long-term retirement savings. Today, I'm going to talk about registered retirement savings plans, also known as RRSPs. My goal today is for the audience to learn one or two new things about RRSPs. Most of this content, or some of it, you probably already know. So first, this is an account type created by the Government of Canada to help Canadians save for retirement. It was first introduced in 1957 when Prime Minister Louis St. Laurent was our Prime Minister. His government also started Old Age Security, which is a monthly financial income every month for seniors. Back then, you had to be 70 to receive it. Now you can start at age 65. So it was obviously important for their government to build long-term financial security for Canadians. So let's start with some of the basics, and then I'll highlight some of the lesser-known aspects of RRSPs. So what are RRSPs? It's just an account type with a couple of tax incentives. The two key tax incentives are, number one, deposits into an RRSP are tax deferred. For example, if an individual's tax rate is 30%, the next $100 they earn from employment, $30 will go to tax and $70 will go to them. However, if you put that $100 into an RRSP, that full $100 is redirected from taxed to the RRSP account, and you don't have to pay tax on that money yet. When you withdraw from the RRSP later in life, most likely in retirement, you'll pay tax on the withdrawal at your tax rate at that time. The idea is that you'll be in a lower tax rate in retirement as opposed to your working years. So to continue with my previous example, if you contributed while you're at a 30% tax rate and you withdraw later in life when you're at, say, a 10% tax rate, that difference of tax rates is a financial benefit to you. The second tax incentive is that you can invest those deposits, and any gains, interest, dividends, or appreciation is not subject to tax. So how much can you contribute and when? Everyone who earns income in a year is given an annual contribution amount. If you don't make the full contribution in that year, you'll accumulate contribution room throughout your life. Even a 16-year-old working part-time is accumulating RRSP contribution room. You can also withdraw at any age before your 72nd year. In your 72nd year, you're going to have to convert the RRSP to a retirement income fund, also known as a RIF, or an annuity, and start winding down the account or withdrawing the account. So really, pre-retirement, you're accumulating into the RRSP, you're saving, and then when you retire, you kind of flip that account on a 180, and then you're winding it down and withdrawing it, like a pension. So what does this potentially mean for you? If you're under the age of 72, what is your annual income and how much tax do you pay? Can you redirect some of those tax dollars to your RRSP account? If you don't pay much tax because you're in lower income earning years, then maybe an RRSP deposit doesn't make sense. If you're over the age of 72, I would ask the same question. What is your annual income and what do you expect it to be? Is it better to withdraw more now and less later, or vice versa? So there's ongoing tax planning. So let's talk about some less familiar details of these accounts. It's not just employment income that creates contribution room. Income from business and real estate can create RRSP contribution room. Canadian pension plan income, disability pensions, spousal support payments can also increase your room. When you file your taxes every year, your contribution room will be calculated. On your notice of assessment, it will say RRSP deduction limit, and that's how much you can deposit into your retirement savings plan. The type of investment you can hold may be broader than you realize. You can hold individual stocks, bonds. You can also hold mutual funds and exchange traded funds, GICs, and cash. The investments in these accounts depends on really your personal risk tolerance, time horizon, and goals. And a common concern I have is that people perhaps invest their money inappropriately. It's a common thing that we do run across, meaning someone that has a long time horizon, maybe 30 or 40 years, maybe invested too conservatively, holding mainly cash or GICs. But vice versa, someone with a short time horizon investing too aggressively into stocks. You can use your RSP to fund home purchases, education goals, and help family members who have disabilities. So normally when you withdraw from these accounts, it's taxable income. However, the government makes exceptions saying, hey, you can withdraw this money for a first-time home or adult learning and education, and we're not going to withhold tax, or you don't have to pay tax on those withdrawals. However, with conditions, you have to put that money back into the RSP over the coming years. For a house, you have to pay back or put the money back into the account over the next 15 years. Also, you can roll over your RRSP to a financially dependent child or grandchild with a disability, tax-free as well. You don't need to claim the deduction in the same year you make the contribution. So you can, this is tax planning. If you foresee yourself making more income and therefore paying more tax in the future, you can delay the tax deduction. The tax bill can be the biggest, or the tax bill on death can be the biggest one you've ever paid. So how this works is that if a couple have RSPs, if one passes, their RSP can roll over to the surviving widow or spouse tax-free. But upon the widow passing, all that is going to be withdrawn and taxed. And if there's a sizable amount in the account, it can be taxed fairly largely. So I always recommend to have a plan on when to wind down or exhaust the account. If you're in your 70s, maybe have a plan to have the account depleted by 80 or 85. There could be a big tax bill if you pass away with these accounts. You can still contribute to a retirement savings plan after the age of 71. You can contribute to your spouse's plan. This might be a strategy for pensioners or business owners that are still operating in their 70s. If you're in your higher income earning years, you can deduct tax and defer tax by making spousal contributions. Also, if the couple has a big age gap and you want to provide financial security and longevity for the younger spouse, then you can again make spousal contributions. RSP contributions can make the difference in qualifying for other benefits. So there's government credits and benefits that are geared to income. Traditionally, the lower the income is, the more you qualify, and you can drive down your income to qualify for some of those benefits by making RSP contributions. So just being mindful of what some of those credits are when doing some planning is helpful, or to maximize your benefit. And sometimes it makes sense to make RSP withdrawals before retirement. So that's kind of unconventional thought. But for example, if you're in a year of low income and have an urgent need for additional funds because of maternity leave or unemployment, accessing your RSP may be the best available option. Another strategy is to withdraw more heavily before 65 to avoid old age security clawback. So what this potentially means to you is to review your RRSP account every year in detail. Look at your notice of assessment after you do your taxes to see your contribution room. Is there a financial benefit to add or withdraw funds from your RSP this year? Are the investments within the RSP suitable for your time horizon and goals? And double check your beneficiaries. Since the last time you looked at them, did you have a separation? Did you get married? Do you have more kids? Do you have more grandkids? Are any of your beneficiaries or family members, do they have disabilities? These all may impact how you do estate planning around these accounts. So this strategy report that I just scrolled through is available if you would like to have it. Just get in contact with me and I can send it to you. Thank you and be well.